do the skip interview, right? Don't just talk to your VPs and things like that. Go to the next layer and talk to your directors, talk to the sellers so that you can see like it's not you're going past a level and really working with those types of teams too, because you'll get different feedback.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Locked Into Leadership. I am Matt, this is Cass, and today we are with Andrew Mora. Andrew is with Cork. Cork went from 1 million to 3 million in the last year. Andrew has been in the IT and IT services section for over 14 years. He's been in leadership for 7 years. I've met him a couple of times. He's a great guy. Andrew, tell me a little bit about Cork specifically and tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so Cork's been around for 3 years. We provide two different products. One's going to be a monitoring platform from a consolidation standpoint, and then we also offer a financial protection product. A lot of people refer to it like a kind of like an Aflac type of financial coverage. Myself, as you said, I've been in the IT space for 14 years. Have two kids, a lovely wife. Spend a lot of time golfing, which my wife doesn't really like that part of it, but uh, yeah, I just spend a lot of time talking about a tech and risk profile, and have a lot of fun doing it.
So let's dive in. What is a mantra or a phase that you live by as a leader?
Obviously, I'm attached to revenue, I think you obviously have to believe in what you sell, right? That's like obviously an old mantra that most people and sales people live by that moniker. But I also think, especially in the space that we're in, selling IT services, it's kind of like a commodity thing, and so you really have to listen to your customers or your partners or whoever you're selling to, and really understand even if you can fit or add value to their business. And I'm the first one and a full believer in like if you're not adding value to any business, then just walk away as friends. Like shake hands and walk away. It's just better that way. So those are the two things that I really believe in from the sales side of leadership.
I think that's such a good mantra to live by, especially believing in what you sell. What's a defining moment through your leadership journey from rep and channel partner manager to chief revenue officer, 10xing revenue in only 3 years? Pretty impressive. What's a defining moment?
I think it's really understanding where you fit, right? Really understanding, is this something that can actually add or bring value or change something? What I was told from someone I actually sold products to a long time ago was, hey, if you just call me with a new shiny tool, I'm probably not going to take your call. But if you come with a business solution, like something like, hey, I can change your bottom line by 5% by currently what you're doing today, I'm going to take your call every time. And so I really thought about that, right? Like what's a way that if I'm on a phone call with three people and they all make $100, $200 an hour, how do I bring value on that call, even if I'm selling them something, right? And to me, it's more of an education type of thing. And if you do listen enough, you can really figure out where, especially for myself, like I just happen to be in a really cool spot where we fit a lot of places. You just have to really listen very well to figure out where those places are. And so I think that was a really defining moment, was understanding Cork was leaving some things on the table as a company from their product delivery. And so we really figured out what was the correct messaging? Where does this actually, from a product fit, help the community? And so it took us a little bit, but once we figured that out, we've really hit our stride. But like even before that, it was just understanding like IT services do so many things, but if you boil it down to like two or three and consolidate all those things into like an overall blanket, I think that's where it really helps people understand what you deliver as a service.
So you said instead of always be closing, you said always bring value. Is that correct? Always
Yeah,
bring
because
value.
I don't. There are some cases where your product will not fit and does not fit, and so it's do you try to like ram that square peg into the round hole. I don't believe that that's ever going to be a good experience for you as the seller or for your customer or partner, because they're going to end up hating it, and then they're going to talk about it, and then it's just a whole ripple effect.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't think you need to close on every call.
No, that
I think
makes
you
sense.
I think what it more is you always need to be discovering.
Always be discovering and always
Yeah.
bring value.
What do you think? Where do you think executives are? What are they massively underestimating right now?
Underestimating, I think what they underestimate is underestimate is, especially in large organizations, is the frontline feedback, right? Is really understanding, because obviously the bigger you get, the more away from the front lines you are. And so really understanding, like, is my product or is my thing, whatever my service is, whatever, is that even really impactful? Especially because, like, as executives, you come up with these plans and you're like, hey, this product, this service, whatever is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. And then people who are on the front lines are like, honestly, people don't really care about what you thought was going to be the best thing. And so I think really relying on that feedback and then really implementing that feedback from the frontline reps, whether they're account management, sales, customer success, whatever it is. Because I think that's where, again, I was in a massive organization right before Cork, where we're just sub under 20 people, where I came from 1,800 people, where moving things there was like, hey, you'll get it on the roadmap in 2 years, right? And so, like, those are the types of things that I think executives really underestimate and really should start to jump into, is where, do the skip interview, right? Don't just talk to your VPs and things like that. Go to the next layer and talk to your directors, talk to the sellers, so that you can see, like, it's not, you're going past a level, and really working with those types of teams too, because you'll get different feedback, right? And so I think that's really underutilized and underestimated.
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. In fact, that came up on a conversation just today. It's amazing.
You talk a lot about future, Andrew. What's one thing that people should stop doing immediately, based on your perspective, if they want to succeed in the next decade? I say that because you just leveled up your company, right? You went from 1 million to 3.
Yeah.
So what's one thing people should stop doing immediately if they want to succeed in the next decade?
I mean, I think y'all have been doing it at ITS a lot, right? It's really figuring out what are the mundane things that people don't need to be doing, the everyday tasks that bog your day down, whether it's spreadsheets, accounting, whatever it is, right? Like the stuff that just really takes up. So for myself, the perfect example is I'm awful at taking notes, and like,
Right.
or really good notes, right? Like
Right.
mine are just really one word, good conversation they want to buy
Right.
in 3 months, right? Like that type
Right.
of thing. And so people would go through them and, like, I don't, what was the conversation? What did you even talk about? And so I think that type of stuff, where now I had to have a bot that's set up that literally fills out all my HubSpot information, fills out all the notes with very detailed information, right? Like, and so I think that type of stuff, where I would go and spend another 2 hours at the end of the day populating all this stuff that is now just auto populated. So it saves me tons of time with way better information. And then what's really cool is that even with that, now we've gotten better from our sales process, because we've seen what a good call looks like and what a bad call looks like. And then we started comparing that against all of our reps. And so I think, obviously, like, AI is the number one topic right now, but it's really figuring out, and I was doing this really wrong too. I would stop trying to figure out how it does it, right? Like how AI really works, but figure out what is your day-to-day plan. And if you could automate or have AI do that, what does that look like? And really write that out before you start querying your bots. Because I was like, well, what if it does that? What if it does this? And then my engineer is like, dude, you need to calm down and really, like, think about your whole process, and then really try to see how we can shrink that down into where we can automate a lot of that. And so I think stop trying to piecemeal it and really sit down and do it all together. But obviously the whole thing, what everyone's been talking about, you leverage AI to get done the stuff that you're not really good at.
Yeah, Cass tells me that a lot. Put a plan together. Is that right, Cass?
I mean, or AI will put a plan together for you. I mean, just give it an expert. It's funny because I heard it said today, a good friend of mine, Steve Cunningham, said, AI, you don't have to know how it works. You don't know how a Tylenol works. You just know that when you have a headache, you take a Tylenol or an Advil or Motrin, right? You don't understand the biochemistry that's happening. You just want the relief. And AI is like that, but we spend a lot of time thinking about the how instead of end to end, like you said. So it's really brilliant. So speaking of big goals, I mean, 10x in 3 years, 3x just last year, and it's always harder to get bigger as you get bigger.
Right.
What are your big goals right now? Like what's your big, hairy, audacious goal, or your BHAG, if that's still a word?
So we want to go from like 3, I think, to 10 or something. Like it's something crazy. Right?
Another 3x. We're just going to keep going 3x. Why not?
Yeah, it seems to be our number. But I think what's cool now is we have a lot of different avenues to tackle it, which yes, it is a hairy, daunting goal, but it would be different if we only had one revenue stream to chase it with. And so I think being able to go after a couple of different avenues makes it a lot easier. So is it still scary? Yeah. Is it as scary as if we only had one way to do it? Absolutely not. And so I think, is it obtainable? For sure. And then that's what, like we typically set those types of goals where it's like stretch and what would be if we went crazy. But yeah, I think you're going to see Cork at least break into not different markets, just how we attack the market will be a little bit different, because we were going at it solely by ourselves. And so now we're starting to break into distribution. We're starting to get queries from insurance and using our telemetry to help their underwriting, stuff like that. So it's really exciting to see it pick up from where we were a warranty company 3 years ago to now like, hey, you're an information telemetry company that is backed by a warranty. Has been a really cool shift in the company.
It really is a different story that you're telling for sure now. And insurance companies are getting a lot smarter, and they're requiring a lot more to deliver a full cyber insurance package. So, I mean, it is a good partnership. And then there's the AFLAC/GAP warranty component that just gives a little bit more assurance. A lot of CEOs, I bet, have or CFOs are up at night because they're thinking about what happens when, not if, but when. And so
we talk about AI, and I talk about AI, like obviously y'all are on the good side, where there's obviously people on the bad side who leverage AI too. And right now what's happening on the insurance side is they're scanning for your insurance policy to hit you for just under your deductible. Right. Wow. And so like they're getting smarter about how they're going about getting their money, because it's no longer, hey, let's go after this $5 million ransomware attack. It's let's go after $5 million or 5 million small businesses and only ask them for $10,000.
Yeah.
And go for we're going to go for hits like that left and right. And so that's where just, again, education. Can you withstand whatever is just under your deductible? Are you okay with losing that money? Yay or nay? Like sometimes you're okay with it and you've planned for it. Yeah, my CFO has a little bit of a piggy bank for just this scenario, right? Great. If you don't, then obviously we understand that we have a risk gap, and are you okay with that risk gap, right? So